Hey, what's up, everybody? Let's look at what's happening today in the crypto world. So, looking at Monero real quick on the 4 hour chart, right? Now, let's go to the 8 hour chart. Obviously, we've been consolidating for the longest time, right? And let's not forget where we are here. So Monero broke out. We had a three-way move back down. We retested the support and then we shot all the way back up. And now we're sort of bottlenecking in here. Boom, 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 boom. So I would imagine this thing is either going to get some kind of flat and break out, or we're just going to break out. It's going to be a combination of, or it's going to be one of those two, I believe, not financial advice. I could be wrong, but that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Um, for example, we could get some type of three-way move down, right? So you kind of get a three-way move up or a three-way move down, and then a three-way move up, and then a three-way move back down. So 333, right? Um, so you get an impulse, you get a three-way pullback. There's your two, and then we continue higher, right? Or it looks like we're pumping pretty nicely at the moment here. Look at this. We have a nice three-way pullback here. We broke the resistance level. I actually went long at 220. Yeah, right when we started breaking this little high here. So I'm just gonna watch it and wait and see what happens. So yeah, that's Monero. I think it's very bullish because when you look at the weekly chart, um, I mean, this thing is primed, right? You have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. You go sideways, and then we just got our breakout. Now, if you look at, for example, XRP, that's exactly what happened to XRP twice, right? That's what happened twice. So we had, let me take all that off the screen there. So it's essentially a fractal, right? I mean, you got your rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, just like Monero, right? And Monero is actually right there. Now, that doesn't mean Monero is going to do what XRP is going to do or even come close, but the fact that it's printed the same type of setup makes me believe we got higher prices to go, especially if XRP's got higher prices. I see no reason why Monero cannot, right? So, looking pretty good for Monero. All right, well, since we're on XRP, let's look at it. XRP, we got a pump today. We're up 6%. We're at 263. Looking pretty good for XRP. Let's take a look and zoom in here to the daily. So our daily candles are looking pretty good. Whoa, look at this. Can we close above this swing high? Basically above this area, which is right at 261. And what are we currently? 263 almost, 264. So there you go. Let's see if we can break out here. So we have our impulse. We have a three-way pullback. We shot to the upside. Remember what I said, we got away from the scene of the crime. We consolidated. You can either consolidate down here or you can pump and then consolidate up here, right? And then you break the range. So, like I've been saying, let's zoom in a little bit. We really wanted this range to give us a signal, right? And yesterday I said it's more than likely we're going to break to the upside. The reason why is because we had one, and then we had two, right? Where's three? Now we got three. Now here's the problem. We are in the most dangerous spot you can possibly be. Why? Number one, we are right in the middle of the retracement levels, right at the 702, 786. I mean, that's as good as it gets right there. As far as the battle, the battle of the retracement levels. Can we break out? So we're at right at the edge of a cliff here. Why do I say that? Well, number one, we're at the retracement levels. Number two, what did we just do? A three-wave move, right? So what does this mean? This means this is, like I said yesterday, I should replay the video or replay the clip of what I said. This is exactly, right in here is where the decision is going to be met. Can we break out, or do we have to come back down in three? Why do I say that? Because if you look at this, we have an impulse, right? We have a three-wave move to the downside. We have a three-wave move to the upside. That's one, that's two, worst three. We could probably get a three-wave move back down, right, to the downside. And there's three. So W, X, Y, and then go. Now, this, we don't know how that could look. There's different ways of it, could look. For example, we could just have an A, a B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a C, and come all the way down. Let's see where that would be at. Well, now we can measure it because we have that move here, and it could be finished, or it may not be finished. We might have a little bit higher to go, right? So this is the bearish idea. Keep that in mind. So we're looking at $1.73. Okay, so if we have an ABC right here, A, B, and then we come down for C. So that would be the idea, right? And then we continue higher. Now, it doesn't have to come down that low. It could be a flat, right? It could be, for example, this can come up a little higher, and we can get some kind of running flat like that. Some type of three-wave move like that, and then continue. For example, if you look at CRV, something like this. CRV did it, right? So we had a move down. We came all the way up. It was looking really, really good. And then what happened? We came back down. And then it created that shape. And now maybe potentially it's bottoming here, and then we continue. Or we hit the low and then continue down here. So this is an interesting spot. The problem is, it looks very three-wave-ish. Number one. Number two, we're in the retracement level. Number three, tomorrow, Wednesday, is Fed Day. That is really interesting where we are. We're right in the area where we can dump or break. And it just so happens to coincide with Fed Day, which is extremely volatile. Fed Powell's going to speak. They're expected to raise 25 basis points, or lower the interest rate, right? And so, I mean, is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I mean, it just depends how the market interprets it. Sometimes it can go either way. So we're just going to have to track it. We're going to have to see how it plays out tomorrow. So there's going to be a lot of fake outs, right? It could feel like, oh, it's coming down, and then it shoots right up. or, oh, it's going up, and then it shoots right down. You know what I mean? So, it really depends. Like, for example, in the morning before the uh, Powell speaks, we could see like moving, you could see the market moving up like this. And then he starts to speak, and then it kind of pulls back. And then the speech is over, and then it goes right back up. You know what I mean? Something like that. Obviously, it wouldn't take that long, but just for a drawing reference. I mean, but that's all speculation. I mean, we're just trying to figure things out here. So the way I see this is, I mean, you really got, I mean, there's a couple different ways you can count it, but you got an impulse, you got 3 down, right? And then you have 3 up, and then you have 3 back down. So that could be a 1, that could be a running flat for a 2. And then what we have here is a 1, 2, and this is another 1, 2, right? And that can be something like this, right? And then we go up for that 3. I mean, that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is some kind of weird, we have 3 down, and then we have 3 up, right? And then we have 3 there, and then 1, 2, 3 there. And that's kind of an interesting idea. And then what we would do is come back down in 3, something like that. And then that could be around where Fed Powell speaks tomorrow, and then we shoot up. So boom, 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 some type of running flat. It looks pretty big, but we'll see how it plays out. So it's really, I mean, there's a lot of ideas on the table. So it's all about tracking at small time frames. Why is that? Because we're in the middle of the retracement levels, right? Point A, point B, point C. When you're in point C, it's the most challenging spot. So we have to look at the wave structure. The wave structure is 3 wave-ish, which is bearish for the short term, right? The long term, I see this thing flying to the upside, right? Remember BCB's drawing, he had it like this and then something like that. And I even said it didn't make sense to me because I didn't see 3. It made more sense. Like, for example, you look at Bitcoin here. It made more sense right here. So XRP's right here, and then what happened is it breaks out, right? It gives you that 3-wave move. So you have 3 down, you have 3 up, right? And then what happens? You get 3 back down, or even you can even say that was just 5, right? So 3 up, and then dump, and then go. All right, so we go back to XRP. Same thing here. 3 down, 3 up, dump, then go. I mean, that could make sense, I mean, that's what Bitcoin did. So something along those lines. But if this is a 1, 2, 1, 2, then maybe we can just be on our way. And that would be great. I would love that. Let's just get this going. All right, so Bitcoin. So where would let me go back real quick. Where would the target be if XRP did break out? Well, if this is the low, if that is the low at $1.91, then we can measure it. And the way I would measure it is just by I'm just going to use the conservative approach by using the bottom of this wave to the top of this wave, right about there, and then back down to the bottom of that wave. And look at that. Right now, look at Fibonacci. Look at that. We went right into the 50% area at 271. So that was definitely a rejection. So where are we going? Well, ultimately, if that is the low, right? If this is the low here, then ultimately I'm looking at I mean, the first target would be the 1-to-1, which would definitely go a lot higher than that. And then I've been looking at $4.50 for that extension, for that 1618 extension. And then you have targets up to, 580, 618, 748. I mean, all the way up to 882 from that move itself, right? There's different ways you can measure it. If I pull this all the way down here, right, and then I use that as my extension, well, now the 1618 is at 584, and the 4.236 is actually at $12, and this 3618 is at $10. And I've noticed XRP likes to hit the 3 and the 2. So I would imagine between $6 and $9 moderately. Conservatively, 4 to 8. Extremely, 10 to 15. And then out of this world, bonkers, crazy, blow your socks off, $26, $27. Whoa, if that could happen, that would be just awesome. Ah, man, that would be just... Problem is when you get there, like let's say it's easy when you say, oh yeah, $26, I'll sell it all. No, but here's the problem. Let's say you get up to $6 and then we start, moving back down. How do you know that wasn't the top? Right? And then we go, and then you sell it and then it pulls back, or you sell it down here and then it goes up to 10, right? How do you know that was the top? So you're not going to get to sell all of it at a high price. You're going to have to take a little bit out, take a little bit out, take a little bit out, right? Like, maybe 10% there, 10% there, 10% there, 10% on the way up. You know what I mean? So dollar cost averaging. So that's kind of how I look at it. By the way, I've been so busy the holidays. I haven't been able to sit down and think about how I'm going to do this members video. And I still owe you guys a members video. So look out for that this week. And it's going to be about rotations, the art of rotations. Okay. So it's just going to be an introduction. It's not going to be a full-on thing. It's going to be, just an introduction on how to do it. And then kind of what to expect here and how to play these things. And it's not financial advice. It's just entertainment, educational. Take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's not an exact science, but if you can do it right, you can actually get, you get a bull run, you make a lot of money. But imagine getting 2 bull runs in one bull run, right? You ride a coin up, and instead of selling it at the peak, you sell it here. And then you rotate it down here, and then you ride this one up halfway, right? Because you never want to ride a coin all the way to the top of the suspected target. Because when you get 75% up there, you're not going to have a lot of percentage points versus a coin that really hasn't mooned yet. And it could bite you in the butt later on. That's why you got to be careful. And you don't want to rotate 100%. You know what I mean? So we'll talk about that. If you want to join the membership, it's a few bucks a month. And I try to put out 2 videos a month. Okay? And it's a great way to support the channel. I don't do advertising. I don't do or whatever YouTube does, but I don't do, any affiliates, right? I don't have any affiliate links. I'm not down there saying, hey, join my, click on this exchange and get $10,000 bonus. All those guys. I don't do that. So I don't make anything. And I do a lot of dedicated time in this. So I got to make something out of it. You know what I mean? So that's why I do the members videos. Again, you could try it out. If you don't like it, just cancel it. No big deal. The best way to do it is just hit the like button, and that always helps too. So anyways, that's XRP. Let's take a look at Theta. Yeah, Theta, we're still in our range. So we haven't decided, so XRP, what did it do? It broke out. Well, it didn't break out, but it actually made that three-way move, right? But Theta has not. What does that mean? That means that Theta could follow soon enough, right? If XRP did it, and that's what I go back to the rotation thing, right? So if we look at this is just a quick example. Same structure. We broke out, but Theta did not break out. So in my trade, I could take a little bit off the top, right? And then I can swap it into Theta. That doesn't guarantee that it's going to break out too, but more likely, if XRP did it, more than likely Theta will as well soon. Again, it doesn't have to, right? But even, let's say it didn't, and you swapped it into Theta and it broke down. Well, guess what? If it's breaking down, XRP is probably going to come down too. So you're going to write it down either way, you know what I mean? But you have a higher chance of Theta breaking out and coming from a low point versus selling it on XRP coming from a high point. You might have a higher percentage drop. So anyway, we'll jump into that stuff later. But yeah, I think we're kind of wedging in here a little bit. It kind of looks like a little bit of an ascending triangle in a way. Not really perfect, but it's okay. So we have our resistance line, our supply line, we have our demand line, our trend line, and we're sort of just waiting for a moment here. So what if we break out to the upside, what does it mean? If we break to the downside, what does it mean? Well, if we break to the upside, then we're in the same boat as XRP, which is what? Which is 3 down, and then we have 3 up. So then when we get 3 up, we can either, from here, we can either have 3 down and then go, or from here, we can have a flag and then continue, right? And then from, that could be, this leg here could be, it could bottom here, it could bottom here, it could come all the way back down here and bottom. It could even be a regular ABC all the way down here and then go. I mean, we're just going to have to track it. We're going to have to see how that plays, right? So, I like to get in the trenches and I like to get into the nitty gritty of the wave structure. Most people, I would say a lot of people like to talk about the market, but actually getting into the nitty gritty of the wave structure, a lot of people don't want to touch it because it's so unpredictable, but it's actually not really that unpredictable if you have ideas, right? If you have, like, you could say, well, one idea is up, one idea is down. How does that help? Well, it doesn't, right? Unless you're tracking it. So it's all about tracking the wave structure. So for example, we don't have to know what it's going to do. That's the beauty of it. See, a lot of people, they need to know exactly what it's going to do next. You don't have to know. I'll tell you why. Because if, let's say, we break to the upside. All right. Well, now that's going to tell us what? It's going to tell us that we finally have 3. And what does that mean? Now, if you think this part is challenging, just wait till we get up here. It's going to be even more challenging, right? So if we break to the downside, right, what does that mean? Well, I would look at this as 3 down. I would look at this as 3 up. And then I would look at this as maybe 3 or 5 down. It could be a zigzag, ABC, right? And then if we do break down, it's actually kind of a better thing The reason why is because then it narrows down 1 to 2 possibilities, which is either a double bottom and then a continuation, or a just a regular ABC zigzag and then a continuation, right? There is, and here's the trickier part too. If it did come down here and make a double bottom, it can always come back up and give you that 3-wave shape later on. But here's the thing, if it did do that, and let's say we blitz the high here, then we can look at it either as a flagging and a continuation or some type of running flat. So anytime you get a move, it opens up 2 more branches, right? Think of the chart like a tree, right? And then each branch has another couple, branches on that branch. You know what I mean? So then let's say we use this branch. Well, then you get 2 more on this one. You know what I mean? So any direction we go opens up 2 or 3 different possibilities, right? And it's all about, being at the right place at the right time, identifying things. So, but anyway, look at the wave structure. I see it's kind of bullish in a way because you have this impulse, you have a 3-way pullback, right? And then you have this cup, like you're cupping in, like here's your resistance, you're cupping into the resistance, you're cupping in, you're cupping in, you're cupping in, okay? And then you also have sort of an ascending triangle as well. So based off the wave structure, it looks to me like we're probably going to break it to the upside if I had to place my cards. Now, would I enter a long? Well, that depends. Are you a breakout trader? You could, if it appears like it's breaking out, you can buy. But the problem doing that is you're buying at, towards resistance. Another way you can do it is you wait for it to break out, you wait for it to come back down, you wait for it to back test, you wait for it to confirm, then you wait for a 5-wave move, then you wait for a 3-wave pullback, then you get in, right? So that would be the more conservative way. But for me, most people like DCA, hodl, invest, right? They're doing it for the investing part. They're holding the coin, they're hodling it, they're waiting. So in that instance, it's actually really easy. All you have to do is buy it, right? I mean, but people want the cheapest price, and they want to know like where's it gonna go. If people believe it's gonna break up, they're gonna buy it now before it breaks up. If people believe it's gonna break down, they're gonna wait to then buy it here. Now sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. The best thing to do, obviously, is dollar cost average, right? I mean that's just basically the whole story here. Because we're at 270. We dropped down to 244, 245. It's a little bit of a difference, but as it averages out, it's going to be roughly the same. So just to recap: 3 down, 3 up, 3 down, go, or 3 down, we get up here, we flag out, we go, or we have 3 down, and then this is a flat here, and then we kind of work our way down in a zigzag, boom, 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 and then go. So it's kind of 3 ideas. We just have to wait. Litecoin had a pump. Now look at Litecoin. Here's another coin that's telling the story, right? So if you look at Litecoin, it broke out. It broke out of this little range, right? So now what we can say here is that we had 3 down, right? Now we have 3 up. Maybe it's not finished. Maybe it goes a little higher. And then we have to figure out, well, what's going to happen now? Do we get 3 down, or do we flag out and continue? So there's that tree branch right there. It just, since we broke that, it grew 2 branches. Now we got to figure out which branch it's going to go down. It's simple, but it's also complicated, And the more you look at the chart, the more you're going to see the structure, the more you're going to get, the more that you're going to get feelings of bullish feelings or bearish feelings, you know? Bitcoin, XRP, Theta, XDC. I don't know. What's XDC? Kind of looks like a descending triangle to me. So, yeah, this is going to break out or this is going to break down. Since it's coming from an uptrend, it's more likely for it to break to the upside. Usually descending triangles are coming from a downtrend like this, and then they break down. So I would just simply watch this trend line here. I think it's going to break out. I look kind of bullish because you kind of get a little bit of a bottom here. You got another bottom, you got another bottom. You know, you're building a base in here. And it looks a little bullish in here. I'm not really confident in it. We just have to wait and see how that plays out. But for the most part, like coins like Zcash, you know, they have 3 down, they have 3 up, and now they come down. They're kind of bottlenecking, so you know you might get a little bit of a hit to the low. Could be some kind of zigzag here. Let's see. Well, let's just kind of rapid fire here. Dot. I mean, you could look at this as a flat, and then you could look at this as a 1-2, and now we're about to go. Or you can say 3 down, we get 3 up, we get 3 back down, then go. Or we can look at it like that's pretty much it. 2 ideas right there for now. Render, same thing. Ethereum, this is the one that we really need to get going. We want this thing to expand. It is the king alt. So, you know, if Ethereum can do it, then it breathes in confidence for the rest of the market. So, by the way, RLUSD went live, I think, today or yesterday. So that's up and running. That's a good thing. I think it was today. So yeah, I think it's going to provide more liquidity to the ledger. It's just going to make everything better. If you look at Tron, for example, Tron's just been, you know, I'll show you real quick. Look at this. Tron USD number 1. It had a shallow retracement. Look at that. That was the bear market for Tron. Nothing, you know. And then look what Tron's been doing. It's just been pump, 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 pump. You know, where's the pullback? There's no pullback. It's just been going up for the last several years steadily. You know, it also had a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. We went sideways. We broke out. Now, I don't even think it's finished yet. I think looks very bullish. I mean, look at the cup and handle. Look at that. You have a beautiful cup. It's probably one of the most beautiful cup and handles I've ever seen on the weekly chart on a massive time frame like this. Well, let's just look at it, and then we'll go back to Ethereum. Yeah, we had a pretty killer pump, right? And then we had a 3-way move down. Looks like we can potentially get maybe 3 up, and then kind of consolidate and then go. That's how I imagine it happening, right? We could come down a little bit lower and go up. I mean, it's just, you know, depends, but kind of needs to consolidate a little bit and then get rolling here. If it's really, really bullish, then you get a 3-way pullback. We didn't really back test in here. I'd like to see it back test, but if it's really bullish, you get a 3-way pullback. You got a 1 and a 2, you flag out, and then you just freaking go. I don't know if the market's ready for that yet, and it looks a little corrective, so I'm not thinking that right now. But let's go back to Let's go to Ethereum, if I can find it real quick. So we're getting a dump here in Ethereum. It was looking pretty bullish yesterday. But that we were at a dangerous spot. The reason why is because we had 1, 2 long move down, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we have, really it would be, almost looks like 5. Probably it is 5 on the smaller time frames. Let me see. It's kind of a tough one because it's kind of truncated. But let's just say that yeah, let's just say this is 3. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 actually. Right? You could say it's 5. So then the idea would be like, okay, well, we got a 5-way move. Now we need what? We need to flag out in an ABC or something and then continue. So that's kind of how I'm looking at Ethereum right now. And that could be right around where Powell starts speaking, and then maybe we get a pump out of there. The bullish idea. Now the bearish idea, this is only 3, and we still need 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be some type of flat here. A, B, C, right? So you have an impulse, you have an A, B, C, and then you continue on. So that's kind of the two ideas I'm looking at for Ethereum here. HBAR. HBAR, we got a 3-wave move down. And this looks like it wants to do this. It looks like it wants a 3 up. And then maybe a 3 down, and then a continuation. If we can flag out in here, maybe we can break out. Usually you get another move down. That's idea number 1. Idea number 2, we get 3. This is 3, and now we're kind of like 1-2ing to the downside. So like W, X, Y, X, Z, and then go. So if we just rip the Band-Aid off, maybe we can just get it over with. I mean that's pretty much it, guys. Let's see. Sheeb. Nothing interesting. You know, you got 3 down. It looks like you need to come up here. So it might play, down, 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 and then shoot up a little bit, and then do something like that. It's going to just trick people. Ranges are used by traders, right? Breakouts are used by investors. Traders play on the investors when they try to trade, you know. So let's see, Filecoin, same thing with Filecoin. You know, you're kind of just playing in here. It just seems like it should come up and tag the high here. Now, when's it going to do that? I mean, it could take a couple days, you know. It could, I mean, look at XRP. It happened today. Matic. I mean, they're all the same, pretty much. Bohm, same thing with Bohm. Uniswap, IMX, same thing. Theta Fuel, same thing. Let's see, Theta Fuel. Yeah, same thing, you know. Well, you got 3 down, you got 3 up, or this is a wave 1, and then you have an expanded flat for a wave 2, and then it's going to go up. So boom, 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 something like that. So we get 3, 3, 3, and then go. Dog? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could say it's I think we broke the trend line. So it's doesn't look nice anymore. See that? We broke it. So that's now invalidated. This ascending triangle, it's invalidated. Sometimes you can get fake outs, right? It comes down like this, right? And then it just swoops right on up. But there's no guarantee. I mean, that's so risky to do that. But yeah, I'm kind of staying on the sidelines with dog, and I'm just kind of waiting. So on one hand, you got 5 waves up. So you got 5 up, and then you got A, B, and now we're getting C. Right? It could be bottomed now. For example, it could be 1, 2, 3. It could be some kind of running flat. But I want to see it build a base in here. I want to see evidence of accumulation. I want to see it break out, you know? So anyway, that'll do it for this video. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. And if you can hit that like and subscribe, and remember, not financial advice, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Real quick, XRP 5-minute chart. Doesn't matter if you're looking at the 5-hour chart, the 8-hour chart, they're all the same, right? As far as the wave structure. So looks like we got 3 down. Looks like we got 3 up. Maybe we're getting 5 down. Or you get 3 down, and this is going to come up into 3 like this. And then get it, and then go. So just got to watch, got to wait, got to look. Kind of like what we did here. Boom, 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 boom. Come up, come up, come down, come down. 1, 2, 1, 2, go, go. So maybe we get something like that. We'll see. All right, cheers.